everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth, and I managed to talk myself into doing a tag. So I watched Sophie Carlin's video. She did the Independent Book Week tag. I said it was really awesome, and I was thinking about doing it, and she was like, do it, do it, do it. And you know, if Sophie says, so here we go. I will, of course, link Soph's video here, there, probably there, down there, all over the place. And you should definitely check out her video and her channel if you are not already subscribed to her. You should go do that after you watch my video. Don't leave me for her, please. I already have enough of a complex. But anyway, Independent Bookstore Week is a really, really awesome thing that I think is mostly a UK deal, but they talk about, bookshops that are independently owned and are just fabulous. And we don't actually have any around here. The closest bookshop that I have to me is a Hastings, which is kind of more of an entertainment store. That's about an hour, a little over an hour away, about an hour and a half away in the other direction. I think there are a couple of independent bookshops, but that's in a different state. And I don't go that way because that's traveling north and I'm a southern girl. And so, sorry guys. If I had a really good reason, I'd probably go. No, I'm just joking. Kansas is fine. I just don't get out very often and we don't have any bookstores in this area. But anyway, now that I have insulted several of my friends on BookTube who are from Kansas and above, I believe I shall continue on with the actual tag. So there are 10 questions, and I actually don't have books to flash up on the screen for you guys for the most part. So this will just be me talking about them, and I will attempt to go fairly quickly and not have a tremendously long video this time. Question number 1. What book or books are currently in your bag? Now, I've seen a lot of people do this tag and actually pick up their bag and rifle through. My bag is much too big and not compartmentalized, so it would be literally a 30-minute video just watching me try to find things in my bag. But the books that I took out of my bag for you are my 2 current reads. That is Shylock is My Name by Howard Jacobson. I've only read the first chapter, and so far the writing style just doesn't grab me. Kind of makes me have to reread things a lot already, and 16 pages was more than enough of that. So I hope it gets easier for me quickly, or else this is going to be a really difficult review read. And then the other one is another review read, and it is Tim Baker's Fever City. I have been reading this for about a month, but that's because I had a readathon and camp and all this other stuff come up. So I'm over halfway through. I have less than 100 pages or right at 100 pages left to read of this, and I am still loving it and very happy that I asked to review it. And those are the 2 books that are in my bag. So let's get on to question number 2. What's the last great book that you read? And I think every book I read is great in some way, shape, or form. But the last book I finished that I really and truly felt was just an absolutely amazing read was probably The Raven King, which is the final book in the Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. And that book, the entire series, is just beautifully lyrically written. She has been working on those characters for, I think, 15 years or something like that. So she's very close to them, and her writing style really brought out the best in them. And I just loved the entire series. If you haven't read it, you really should check it out. Number 3, what book have you gifted the most? And honestly, I don't gift books for birthdays or Christmas. I just kind of randomly hand people books. The author I have gifted the most is Nora Roberts, and that's because I have just recently sent out some boxes of Nora Roberts books to a couple of my BookTube buddies, and so they will be getting those in the mail soon. So Nora Roberts is definitely probably my most gifted author. But as for book, Uh, Probably one that I've written myself, like Dragon on My Neck. I've given away several copies of that book, so that's probably the one I've gifted the most. But Nora Roberts is definitely the most gifted author. Number 4 is, what is your favorite independent bookshop? And I don't remember the name of the shop, but there is this little bookstore that's in like this literally a very tiny, almost shed like um, house building that is off of the beach in Rockport, Texas. And it is a thrift book kind of deal. So it has some new books and then some used books. And it is just, you can smell the ocean, you can hear the ocean. The room is a mixture of the smell of books, that ink and paper scent, and the scent of the ocean. So, like fish and sea water, salt water, and it's just the most perfect thing that could ever be put together in one building. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the woman who runs it is just the sweetest lady. It's great. Okay, number 5. What's been your favorite book recommended by a bookseller or favorite booktubian? Um, I had a lot of people recommending the Raven Boys on BookTube, and so that's why I picked that particular book and series up, and that is definitely one of my favorites. Also, Six of Crows has been pretty phenomenal. I loved that book, and a lot of people from BookTube recommended it to me. As for a book recommended by a bookseller, I don't remember any that were specifically recommended to me by booksellers that I've read. On my TBR, I did purchase the book The Night Circus, and it was recommended to me both by booktubers and by a book associate at Hastings. So that, if I love it, that will probably answer that question, but I haven't read it yet. So there you go. Number 6, what's your favorite bookshop memory? That one's a little bit more difficult. I mean, I have been begging to frequent bookshops since I was old enough to know what one was. Probably going to the bookstore with my friends and just standing in a row looking at this series of books that we enjoy. And that's not talking about like when I was 8, although I had friends that did that with me when I was 8. We go to Walmart, stand in a row reading, Anna M. Martin books, waiting on my parents to be ready. But I'm talking about now. I'm 31. One of my best friends, is 21. We will go to Hastings and just stand in the new release section and start reading the backs of books together. And we're like passing books back and forth, yelling through the bookstore and just holding books up so that whichever one of us is coming by will snag it and read the back cover. We're terrible, and we should probably apologize to the associates at the bookstore, but we don't apologize to anyone else. So why start with them, right? All right, number 7. What do bookshops mean to you, and what do you love about them? That is probably a topic for an entire video of its own. To me, bookshops mean life. They mean the future, they mean history, they mean everything, because you can walk in and there's books. And books are life, really. They tell you things that have happened in the past, things that will happen in the future. They give you many other lives to live. They help you sort through things, and it's a safe place. Um, what do you love about them? Exactly that. There are books there, people. That's what I love about them. They are just a happy place. I love them so much. All of the different bookstores I've walked into, no matter what, have always been, you walk in the door and just books slap you in the face. The smell of books, or books and coffee, which, like, that combination, take the ocean plus books plus coffee and just put me in the middle of it, and I'll be happy. I'll be good. It's perfect. Hot tea, coffee, books, ocean. I'm there. What are the books that made you, or which books have most affected or influenced you? When I was growing up, I always read the Babysitter Club books, the Nancy Drew books, the Hardy Boys books, the Trixie Belden books. And so that set of books really, all of those sets of books really helped me to kind of define what kind of person I wanted to be. The members of the Babysitters Club are all, they try to be smart, they try to be honest, they try to do the right thing. Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys, Trixie Belden, and Honey, and Jim, and Mart, and the other one, they all try to be honest and giving, and those kinds of people are the kinds of people I wanted in my life, the kind of person I wanted to be, and that really helped shape my views on things. And being a child growing up in the 90s, that helped more than you might think it would, really. When you see everything else that's going on in the world, I was born in 1985. So, all of the changes that have happened in the last 31 years, books have helped shape my ideas of who I should be based on me and who I am inside and on the worlds that I have formed inside from reading instead of from the news, and instead of from the kids or the people around me who don't have influences like that in their life, because things are slowly disintegrating around us to the point where the families that were affected by all of these outward things that are affecting us now, all of the drugs and all of the abuse and all of that that was kind of hidden before, it's so out and open now, that worlds built inside of me by books helped me to put up the walls that would kind of protect me from becoming like that. And yeah, I had struggles, but all of those books that I read growing up and all of the good influences I had from those books and all of the things I saw the people in the books go through helped shape me so that I could see the difference as my friends were going through similar struggles but did not have that sort of strong base of family and books to stand on. And moving on to something lighter, question number 9 is, what book do you recommend readers gift for Father's Day? My dad is a very slow reader. He doesn't enjoy reading as much, so we gifted him a DVD of Hee Haw. But for if you have a father that likes to read, I think just each dad is different. And so if you want to gift him a book, choose something on his level in his enjoyment. However, I did see a book that was basically pictures of famous golfing greens around the world and had little hints on how they take care of those in their section of the world and make them in certain ways, and how they cut the grass. And they had like close up pictures of the grass. And I almost bought that for my dad because he loves to golf. So, if he likes to golf, maybe a book like that, a little nice picture book of the grass grains on greens. Grass grains on greens. Aha. All right. So anyway, that's the whole tag, except for number 10, which I almost forgot. What book is currently at the top of your TBR pile? I just downloaded the audiobook for The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, so technically that would be at the top of my TBR pile. I do have about 300 pages here before I get started with anything else, so maybe those books count. I don't know. Either way, you know what I'm reading, so you can make your own decision. I'm not tagging anybody. If you haven't done this tag and you want to do this tag, please do this tag. If you have done it or if you wind up doing it, let me know down below and link your videos and we can all go chat together. I'll see you later. Bye.